You've been in the shadows of someone else's darkness, absorbing their chaos, pain, and manipulation. You felt your energy drain, your boundaries blur, and your spirit bend. But what happens after the storm? What does the empath become once they survive the narcissist's toxic pull? This is the story of transformation from victim to powerful healer. Have you noticed how your sense of self slowly returns after walking through that darkness? At first, it feels impossible to escape the gravitational pull of narcissistic energy. The chaos feels familiar, like a dark mirror reflecting old wounds you didn't even realize you carried. Yet inside that struggle lies a hidden truth. Survival is just the beginning of an awakening you never saw coming. Can you recall the moment you realized that survival was only the first step toward true freedom? When you finally stepped back and breathed, you realized the darkness you absorbed was never truly yours. It was a borrowed weight, an emotional contagion disguised as love. The empath learns to separate their identity from the toxicity they endured, and that's the first crack in the cage of emotional captivity. How did it feel when you first understood that the pain wasn't truly yours? This healing journey is neither fast nor linear. It's quiet, often invisible to the outside world. But inside, seismic shifts are reshaping your nervous system, rewiring your emotional responses, and restoring your sense of self. The empath begins to reclaim the parts lost in the shadows. Have you noticed subtle shifts in how you react emotionally, even if others don't see them yet? Your energy starts to shift from survival mode to self-preservation. Boundaries that were once flimsy walls become solid gates. The silent strength that grows inside you is not loud or aggressive. It's calm, unwavering, and deeply rooted in self-respect. What practices or moments help you feel this calm power growing within? You learn that your sensitivity is not a weakness, but a source of profound power. The empath's heart, once overwhelmed by chaos, now beats with intentional clarity. You no longer absorb every emotional storm around you. Instead, you become a sanctuary of peace and presence. Have you felt that shift where your emotions become a guiding light rather than a turbulent wave? But this transformation requires fierce honesty. You must confront the pain, the confusion, and the betrayal that once clouded your perception. Healing is a courageous act of reclaiming your narrative, not as a victim, but as an author of your own story. What truths about yourself have you courageously faced lately? Surviving narcissistic abuse leaves invisible scars. Yet it also plants seeds of resilience, empathy, and wisdom that only those who have walked this path can understand. You become a living testament to the power of inner alchemy and emotional mastery. How has your experience shaped your compassion for yourself and others? As the layers of trauma peel away, you begin to see relationships through a new lens. The magnetic pull toward chaos diminishes, replaced by a yearning for authentic connection grounded in mutual respect and emotional safety. Can you describe how your idea of healthy relationship has evolved after healing? You develop an intuitive radar for toxicity. Manipulation attempts no longer disorient you. The empath's discernment sharpens, allowing you to navigate social landscapes with confidence, setting firm boundaries without guilt or doubt. What signs do you now recognize that warn you to protect your energy? This clarity changes how you relate not only to others but also to yourself. Self-compassion replaces self-judgment. You honor your emotions without being overwhelmed by them, cultivating a steady inner sanctuary where healing continues. When was the last time you responded to your feelings with kindness instead of criticism? The journey teaches you that healing is not about fixing others, it's about restoring yourself. You stop carrying the burden of other people's wounds, freeing yourself from emotional enmeshment and codependency. Have you noticed how freeing it is to finally focus on your own healing, rather than trying to fix others? In this rebirth, you embrace the full spectrum of your empathic nature, the light and the shadows. You recognize that your sensitivity is a sacred gift, a bridge between worlds, and a source of deep insight and healing for yourself and others. How do you now honor your empathic gifts in daily life? The empath becomes a guardian of emotional boundaries, protecting their energy fiercely, yet compassionately. You learn the art of saying no without fear, preserving your peace, and reclaiming your power. What experiences taught you the importance of setting clear, loving boundaries? Your relationships evolve from survival-based dramas to partnerships rooted in balance and respect. You attract people who honor your depth and value your authenticity, creating space for mutual growth and love. Can you sense the difference in energy when you connect with those who truly respect and support you? The darkness you once absorbed no longer defines your story. Instead, it becomes a chapter of strength, a reminder of how far you've come, and the wisdom you now carry. You embody a silent power that speaks louder than any chaos ever could. What lessons from your past empower you to stand tall today? This metamorphosis rewires your nervous system, shifting from hypervigilance to calm awareness. You respond to triggers with grace instead of reaction, creating emotional space where before there was only overwhelm. How has your ability to respond calmly changed your daily experiences? Your intuition sharpens like a finely tuned instrument. You learn to trust your inner voice, guiding your choices and relationships with clarity and confidence. The empath's gift becomes a compass for navigating life's complexities. When did you last follow your intuition and feel grateful you did? You no longer seek validation from toxic sources. Your worth is rooted in your own self-acceptance and love. The empath becomes whole not because of external approval, but through internal alignment and peace. How has your relationship with your own worthiness transformed? Healing invites you to rewrite the narrative of love and connection. You move from codependency to interdependence, understanding that true intimacy grows from freedom, respect, and emotional availability. What does healthy intimacy mean to you now compared to before? The empath's journey reveals the hidden mechanics of trauma bonding and emotional entanglement. You see the patterns clearly and choose to break free, creating new pathways toward healthy attachment and empowerment. How did recognizing these patterns change your approach to relationships? With every step, you reclaim stolen parts of yourself, the child who once felt unseen, the dreamer who once felt silenced, the healer who now speaks their truth with courage and grace. Which parts of yourself are you rediscovering and embracing? This process is not linear. You may face setbacks or moments of doubt, but each challenge is an opportunity for deeper growth and renewed commitment to your healing path. How do you remind yourself to stay patient and compassionate when the journey feels tough? You learn to celebrate small victories, the quiet moments of peace, the new boundary respected, the insight gained. These accumulate into profound transformation over time. What recent small win made you proud on your healing journey? The empath's heart, once burdened by pain, now radiates with compassion that is both fierce and tender. You become a beacon for others navigating their own shadows. How do you use your compassion to support others without losing yourself? You understand the importance of self-care as a sacred ritual, not a luxury. Nourishing your body, mind, and spirit becomes a priority that sustains your ongoing healing. What self-care practices replenish your energy most effectively? Community becomes a vital source of strength. You seek connection with others who understand the empath's unique challenges and celebrate your growth with empathy and encouragement. How has finding your tribe supported your healing and growth? The empath's survival story evolves into a story of thriving, where sensitivity is no longer a liability, but a superpower that fuels creativity, connection, and deep joy. How do you see your sensitivity as a gift in your life today? This transformation is a testament to the power of resilience, self-awareness, and conscious choice. You embody the silent strength that emerges after the storm has passed. What moments remind you of the strength you carry quietly within? Ultimately, the empath becomes a living example of healing's alchemy, transforming pain into power, chaos into clarity, and darkness into light. Your journey is a beacon of hope for all who walk this path. How will you continue shining your light for others starting their own journey?